Nigerian businessmen and women. Share the most kept business secrets, how they started, their struggles, and how they succeeded. This is the compendium of the movers and shakers in the Nigerian business community. This is Entrepreneur.
It don't happen! My money, oh, my money, oh, my money!
Do the companies handling your private information use Terra for e-waste?
E-what?
Terra for electronic waste.
Millions! E-don't waka!
Sir, all the IT stars are down with strangenesses.
Una don't give Terra our e-waste. Talk to me!
E-waiting.
Terra, the electronic waste management company I told you to contact, instead of compromising our customer security by selling to scavengers and 419s that cleared out their account, leaving them in store and refuse dumps where they become hazardous to your health.
It don't happen though. Terra no dey. Emergency oh!
Avoid health and financial crisis. Terra for safe electronic waste management.
E-waiting. Terra for e-waste.
For more information, go green. Terra for e-waste.
Our guest today is regarded as the man with the Midas touch. This is because whatever he touches turns into gold. That includes your old mobile phones, your old laptops, your old TV sets, and other old electronic gadgets. He's a lawyer by training, a serial entrepreneur, and an astute administrator. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Mr. Ifeanyi Ochonogor, the MD and CEO of Nigeria's first electronic waste management company, Terra Technologies Limited.
My name is Ifeanyi Ochonogor. I think I should say Dr. Ifeanyi Ochonogor, the Chief Executive Officer of Terra Technologies Limited into electronic waste recycling and data destruction. I'm also the President of the Electronic Waste Relief Foundation of permanently stopping or joining in to those who want to permanently stop the electronic waste crisis affecting Nigeria and West Africa. Ifeanyi Ochonogor is from Delta. I came back to Nigeria in 2008 on my own accord because I figured that whatever I could do there will have more of an impact here. Unknown to me, nothing could prepare me for seeing what I see in Nigeria, which is that there are many industries that are not yet open, but some of them demand our urgent attention more than others, for example, the electronic waste. Well, it started off in 2013 with the registration of the company, and we moved into this property that we're in now. We started off with a shed where we treated electronic waste. Okay, this was prior to us acquiring our machinery, which I'm going to tell you about. So while we had the shed that was refurbishing electronic waste, treating electronic waste, repairing electronic waste. Okay, now the thing that we had to perform strongly was to actually know more about an industry that has not existed strongly in this country. I say strongly because they're what we call informal handlers, the informal management of electronic waste. So we had to learn about them and everything else. Luckily, we had the assistance of some critical institutions, if I can put it that way. But moving on from there, we actually got ourselves our first machinery in 2014. We chose to go into shredding. That's the protection of confidential data contained in hard drives and SIM cards, etc. So we chose that because it's, from our perspective, because electronic waste management, before you acquire actual revenue from what your services are, it takes a long process. It takes a long time to actually acquire something. It can even take as a far distance as exporting electronic waste to other countries in Europe, in the United States, etc. So we looked at data destruction as something that we could do now, so we adopted that into our business model. And after that, we've added the protection. We added more protection. The health and safety element had to be grown. So we chose a cathode ray tube treatment machine. That was in 2015. So we actually chose not to go for refurbished anything. We chose to go for a brand new version, only because we, along with our research, there was a lot of lobbying. We engaged a lot of high-profile individuals who understood our cause, i.e., the defense of our health, our environment, and security. Security is contained in the data protection. It protects one's fiscal life. So we acquired what we have now. We've gotten ISO certification. This is 2018 we're in. So we have basically advanced along those lines till today. The vision and mission, vision-wise, as of 2013, is still maintained. We have reached one or two of those visions, i.e., being the leading electronic waste management organization in Nigeria. Thankfully, we've acquired that. However, within the vision, we have West Africa as well. So we want to set the example for the entire West Africa, so starting from Nigeria, which is why we are looking to talk with ECOWAS, etc., to set what we can term as a paradigm shift, because everybody across our continent, not even West Africa, needs to understand the positives and negatives of electronic waste. So yes, that is our vision. Our mission is to be the leading electronic waste recycling organization when it comes to health and the environment, but also the leading data protection organization. When I say data protection, I mean data destruction. Within the industry, it's called data destruction. So we'd like to be the leader in that as well. Also, IT asset decommissioning. We aim to be leading in that avenue as well. I actually don't have an IT background, and I don't have a science background. I have a law background, and I have a legal background, and a hospitality background. And what made me go into this? It's well, by heart, I'm an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs go into what brings the most benefit and what is the most lucrative. Now, if you think about what electronic waste is, like I think I might have said already, but I'll say it again. It's got two facets to it that was highly attractive to me. Basically, life, because when you look at our environment and our health, that is what the protection of or damage to our environment or our health is a drastic call to action. When I think about myself, I always think of what I can do when something that affects me and everyone, including you and everyone in this room. So that aspect is what really attracted me. As in, I saw what we call the electronic waste crisis and how it affects the world, but especially me and my people and my neighbors over here. So it's something that really got my blood flowing and got me standing up and saying, I've got to do something about this. Now, apart from that, to make it even better, it's a highly lucrative industry, electronic waste industry. I mean, if you think about it, it's in summary, every phone, every computer you have has precious metals, poisonous, but precious metals within them, and precious materials, not just metals. You have neodymium, rare earth magnets. Those are very good for business. So you have a lot of very good elements that you can do business with when it comes to electronic waste. So you have those two aspects. You have the protection of our health, and you have the protection of the earth, and you have the protection of our finances. So it's something I had to go into. One power I believe I have is the power of convincing people that we are in a lot of trouble. I mean, Nigeria, I mean, lots of people can sit down and talk about all the troubles Nigeria faces, but it's for me, it's what we know already, what we've heard of. But this kind of trouble in the air you breathe, with the food you eat, is one that got into the ears of the critical people that got this company, and the financiers that got this company this far. Yes, it's as simple as that. We had a very long spell of a year or more where we did not necessarily have any help at all. Okay, that's why we could not really build more than a shed. And thankfully, the land that we started on was family owned. So it was my father that donated that to the cause, as I put it back then. I said, thank you for donating to this cause. So yes, I would say he is the primary person who has given me support and finance and everything. So he's a major person. So when it comes to acquiring funding for the startup funds, I mean, it came from different avenues, but critically him, and it took a lot of patience and a lot of waiting and perseverance. But here we are, thankfully. The first thing that we encountered was that electronic waste management does not exist in budgets, in companies' budgets. So that was a huge stop on many fronts, and I won't call it a stop, but a delay. Some of them till today, on many fronts. But thankfully today the momentum is growing. It's not just in electronic waste, but in waste in general. You can look at what our governor has spearheaded into with we can use the example of PSPs and Visionscape and all of those elements. The idea of proper waste management is on the forefront of everybody's consciousness, thankfully. Now we are at the end of our pilot, so we have not necessarily needed that much. I mean, if I had to say to you that we have looked as far as biofuel and alternative forms of energy. We looked at solar energy, etc. We have all of those within our plan for proper sustainable business. But that being said, we are looking at concessions of any kind when it comes to our 24-hour operation, 7 days a week. We're not at that stage yet. We don't have the requirements to operate every single hour of every day. We still close at some time, etc. And we try to manage our assets for power. Right now, for example, we use inverters, we use our generators, sometimes we use lights, though we have our policy not to connect any of our machinery to the standard power source, yes, to the grid, because it's a highly sensitive machinery and we don't want any hiccups of any kind. But we use a hybrid. We use all we're willing to use all power sources known to mankind, the newer ones, and particularly solar is on our agenda. The answer is no, because the problem is not going anywhere. I'm going to give up and do what exactly, and continue breathing the foul air. And thankfully, I can say that I have my own children. So even when you think of what kind of future you have, it's that almost fanatical with this company, because when it comes to my push for this company, because it's something that needs to exist and needs to spread as well, which is why we don't act like normal entrepreneurs per se, because it's a new industry. Therefore, you need as many others doing the right things, i.e. in an performing electronic waste management in an eco-friendly, environmentally friendly manner. Because any company that does not perform the operations in an environmentally friendly manner actually causes more poison to the society than society itself.
Is Entrepreneur.
Terra Technologies Limited is a pioneering company into the management of electronic waste and data security.
It don't happen. My money.
Our head office is located at Yaba, while our material recovery facility, MRF, is at Abuliado, Lagos. We are registered with the Federal Ministry of Environment, LASEPA, and LOMA. Our operations are HSE compliant, strictly in line with international best practices. We're also ISO certified on both 9001 and 14001 standards. We protect businesses against the problem of theft of sensitive information and data insecurity using cutting-edge technologies. Our services are secure, fast, cost-saving, and convenient. All shredded components are stored at our secure warehouse and processed using East Towards international standards. We guarantee the following: irreversible destruction of sensitive information, international best practice in environmental sustainability, issuance of data destruction certificate, maximum security handling, comprehensive CCTV footage, business peace of mind. We recycle various electronic waste devices, including cathode ray tubes, CRTs. CRTs are a major target, as the global transition to flat screen monitors left no active collection system in Nigeria, where residences can hand over their CRTs for disposal. This has left Nigerian society defenseless against lead and cadmium poisoning, causing major health problems. Terra is the defense. We dismantle, detoxify, and crush all CRTs using an eco-friendly process. Terra thereby reduces the need for mining and keeps toxins out of our societies. Go green. Go Terra. Terra for e-waste.
Is Entrepreneur.
So we got the recognition as one of the companies that holds perfection as its policy. And I mean, having not to say that all you have to have is to have a QMS ISO and you get an award, but I think it's much more than that, because they've been, I was very surprised that they had been scoping the company for a while. And they say from the beginning, even when we had a shed, but I don't know how true that is. But I think it was something to show credence and show, to acknowledge how far we have gone. I have two mentors, in fact, and they're very much a part of me. I have my father is number one. Yes, Chief Ochonogor. So we have the same name. My name is Ifeanyi Ochonogor. He is Chief Ifeanyi Ochonogor. Yes, so I'm junior. Yes, the second mentor is somebody that is continuing to give us guidance till today. Is called Professor Oladele Osibanjo. Yes, he worked tirelessly on the electronic waste crisis and trying to bring international attention. Before I ventured into it, I think it was in 2012, I actually went over to visit him in Ibadan. He was part of the Basel Action Network. At that time, he was a director there. But he was stationed in Ibadan, so I went and visited him and got his go-ahead to give all I can give to this industry to ensure that we as a company do the best and we set the best standard. So I'd say those are the two most important people. Coming back to Nigeria was the event that shaped me. Before then, I mean, thankfully, though I studied abroad and worked abroad for the majority of my life, I always had that one ticket coming back to Nigeria. So I say categorically that's changed who I am. If I didn't have that connection to here, I would have stayed abroad in England where I was born. I was actually born in England, so there you have some added information about me. Okay, one of the major books was a book by Zig Ziglar on selling. Yes, I was blessed with a successful Bachelor of Arts degree in law. Yes, so technically I should have progressed that and become a lawyer, but in between that I went into sales and fell in love with sales a little bit in the midterm of my law legal studies. So I would say that book on Zig Ziglar. A lot of training, a lot of physical training. And I love listening to music. Everybody loves listening to music, but I love research. I love learning new things. If I don't learn something new today, then I might fall sick. Really, I would fall sick. No, I've just got to. I always read, and it's the unorthodox books, not the telltale books. I like facts, you know. There's a research element of myself. So I think that's the most important part of my hobby. Okay, these are some of the awards acquired to date from 2016 to 2018 in particular. We have the Best Electronic Waste Collection, Data Destruction and Asset Decommissioning given by African Oil and Gas Globe Awards this year. We have the Lagos State Government, Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency. That's an award by one of our key partners, LASEPA in short. We also have a lot of other awards spanning West Africa. This was from Ghana. This was from Nigeria for selfless service. Delivered by Lagos, by Abuja, by federal government. And everything on these placards actually made me what I am today, and hopefully there'll be more to come, hopefully it to be as big as this entire wall.
A great man once said, every accomplishment comes with a decision to try. On today's episode of Entrepreneur, we raise a glass to everyone out there who has ever succeeded, to everyone who has ever failed, and to everyone who is here out there trying. Somewhere inside of you is the power to change the world. My name is Jeremiah Olatinwo. See you next week. Bye for now.
I would like to say particularly to the aspiring entrepreneurs that you have to do your planning, but you also have to have that bravery once your planning is through to see your dreams through.